The Cabal. War, want it or not, is all they understand. And so we taught them. Sand Eaters scattered. Dust Giants felled. Ice Reapers buried. Siege Dancers broken. Until we grew complacent, and Gaul drove a blade between our ribs, left us gasping. Before the Vanguard showed them that the light cannot be tamed so easily. I should have stepped forward, stamped the Red Legion into extinction. Instead, I ran the banner, and watched the city's victories dull our edge once more. It should have ended before they fattened us, before they exploited us, before they forced us to lift up a murderer as our savior. Another Cabal warmonger now leads a fleet off Nessus. No more waiting. We will be there to put her in the ground.
Even my people have a word for peace, but we do not use it often or lightly. I wouldn't have summoned you if I was not sincere.
Peace with the Cabal.
The darkness crowds the edges of this system. The Hive serves it. You'll fall to one, if not the other. My world did.
Empress Keitel, I'm sorry for what you've lost.
We have all suffered. I propose an alliance.
Cabal don't ally. They conquer. She betrayed her father to Gaul. Don't think she won't put a gilded knife in your back too.
My father was soft.
He lacked ambition.
As you do. Humanity won't survive unless the Commander expands his horizons. Join my empire. You'll keep your title and gain a seat on my war council. With my army and your light, the Cabal will crush the Hive. Then, the Black Fleet. Bow.
No.
Very well. Ready yourself, Commander. I'll sharpen my gilded knife and see you both on the battlefield.
Guardian, the Cabal tank is ahead. Break their front line and get us eyes on it. New objective. Based on the field intelligence you recovered, we believe a former Red Legion commander is on site, directing from the ground. This commander was a mere legionary under Gaul's rule. He personally pulled the trigger on a horrifying amount of lightless Guardians during the Red War. He has since risen to become a warlord among the remnants of the Red Legion, and now that butcher carries Keitel's banner. End him. Divide leadership on the ground long enough for our scouts to determine what Keitel is planning. And perhaps get justice for the Guardians he sent to their final deaths. We have what we came for. Get out of there now! Welcome aboard the Helm, Guardian. The hub for emergency logistics and maneuvers. Here you'll find the assets and information you need to complete our most time-sensitive operations. We'll continue upgrading this space as situations in the system evolve, so check in often to get the latest developments.
Warriors of the Empire, I see your fury. For years you have waited for your leaders to reclaim you. But time has not changed your nature. Your rage becomes the swing of the cleaver, the thrust of the shield, the shout of the cannon. I send out a challenge to the remains of the broken legion. Prove your worth in battle. The ancient ancient rights live again. The triumphant will become the first members of my war council. We are Cabal. We eat the mountains. We drink the seas.
Well done disrupting the Cabal on Nessus. I wish that was the end of it. But unfortunately, it's just the beginning. Empress Keitel has emerged as the new face of their empire and demanded I pledge loyalty to her. Our conversation went as well as you might expect. Thanks to the information you recovered, we know this. Former members of the Red Legion and other leaderless Cabal are all competing for a seat on Keitel's War Council. In an effort to prevent Cabal reunification, I'm assembling a team to take out her aspiring commanders. Lord Saladin will act as field commander, and Osiris will report directly to me as my advisor. He's appointed a new hunter, Crow, to be your reconnaissance expert. As always, Amanda Holliday will provide air support. Your task is simple. Defeat Keitel's commanders across the Sol system. Once you eliminate their leadership, Cabal infighting will prevent Keitel from amassing real power. If we miss this opportunity, another all-out war will become inevitable. Good luck.
The new style suits you. Spoils of victory in the reef.
Glint chose the materials. You haven't let me pay for any of this.
If you want to repay me, keep that mask affixed to your face. It will protect you from the city's ignorance.
I know what it's for. If this is what it takes to make a difference, I'm in.
I've had to walk these streets under disguise more times than you know. Now I am welcome. Soon you shall be too. Patience and caution. Ah, Guardian. Saladin spoke highly of your assault. They think their tank is a show of strength, but it is no Iron Lord.
Saladin will hold the line so our attention can be directed elsewhere. Names are needed, examples. My friends in the Reef have been talking. At this point, Red Legion commanders are either brutes or braggarts. Not the type for subtlety. They want Keitel's attention.
We will use that information to direct our fury. Create a power vacuum and show the Cabal the path they've chosen. Dismissed.
Together in the field. Huh. I'm starting to get the impression you all like having me around.
The Cabal incursion is isolated around a nearby Vex structure. They haven't yet had a chance to fabricate heavy fortifications.
The Vex are agitated. Expect their interference as well.
Go show them the power of humanity's champions.
The dragon of your light roars over Nessus. Our enemies fear you, Guardian. Osiris mentioned you crashed a Cabal ritual they call the Rite of Proving. He seems to think it's not unlike our Crucible, made for settling scores. I don't see the resemblance. Scraps of the Red Legion are competing to earn Keitel's favor. Just like her, their hands are tied by tradition. They're forced to meet every challenger or forfeit their position. We can exploit that. I want you to run down every Cabal commander you can find. If they're foolhardy enough to accept a fistfight with you, Keitel's War Council won't fill a single seat. To that end, Crow has spotted another of the Empress's hopefuls on Europa. They call him Basilius the Golem. He's looking for Golden Age relics to excavate from the ice. Basilius intends to augment his body and offer combat enhancements to other Cabal. If he succeeds, it won't be long before Keitel has an entire platoon of exo-legionaries at her disposal. Get in the way.
Look at this. Picking apart the Vex like carrion birds. It's pathetic.
There is no glory in what the Cabal are seeking here, just desperation.
Agreed.
We should send in another team to do a second sweep. Today's survivor is tomorrow's enemy.
Do the Vanguard not have a loosely held policy on offering quarter to fleeing enemies?
The Vanguard asked an Iron Lord to lead their forces. If they did not wish me to fight like an Iron Lord, they should have asked someone else.
While I agree, I can't help but wonder if your disregard for their codes of conduct may cause friction.
Friction is conflict. Conflict breeds strength. They know this. Or they should.
In my experience, what the Vanguard should know, and what they actually know, are not always the same.
You speak the truth, Warlock. My only hope is that they have not forgotten the Battle of Twilight Gap, and the lessons learned there.
If they're looking for the deep stone crypt here, then they're groping around in the dark, so to speak.
Sounds like there's plenty else they could find around here. Keep pushing, Guardian.
Halfway there. Cabal have hardened bunkers up ahead.
I see a whole lot of them from up here. Give them hell! Dropping you in hot. Get a move on!
Cabal gun placements up ahead. They saw us coming. And watch out for drop pods.
That should be enough to scare them off. For a short time, anyway.
They seem awfully determined. Any chance they'll go looking somewhere else?
Doubtful. If anything, sending the Guardian in has convinced them to return.
Well, when they do, we'll be here to stop them again. You know, I'm surprised, Osiris. Once upon a time, a place like this would have set you off. Ranting and raving about Vex algorithms and prediction encoding and other stuff no one understands but you.
Yes. Well, research is far less appealing without an assistant to confer with.
Oh. Yeah, that makes sense.
This might be a strange question, but why a tank on Nessus?
Because the Cabal ain't met a problem that can't be solved by brute force.
You seem to have a familiarity with their, tactical prowess.
I flew sorties against these bastards during the Red War. Watched them set the city on fire. Watched them slaughter civilians and lightless guardians like it was nothing.
I had no idea.
You didn't hear? Traveler blew Gaul out like a candle flame.
And they're still fighting us?
They're Cabal. It's what they do. All they know.
No one fights for nothing.
Intel reported increased crew activity. Seems they were right.
Never good when the Cabal get this frisky.
Whatever they're planning will be less effective without a commander. Get in there and take them out.
Ironic that the land tank is grinding up Nessus for Cabal munitions. That's been the Vex plan for centuries.
If either side were competent, they'd have wiped each other out already. So the task falls to us.
Cabal forces are entrenched out here. You're in for a hell of a firefight before we can breach their defenses.
Those command carriers are likely to send reinforcements, but I'll try to draw their air support away.
Clear the field. That should buy me enough time to take down the barrier that's blocking the way forward.
Crow's intel indicates the commander is nearby. Challenge them and tie this off. We've got other fires burning. I respect a commander who's willing to shed blood on the front line.
That's easy to say when you're the one left standing.
I don't regret a single one of my 1,000 deaths. It's the times I chose not to fight that I regret.
There's nothing wrong with choosing real peace. I wish the Cabal were that clever.
That will never happen. The Cabal have honor. They would rather die than surrender. I admire that.
Remind me not to get on your good side. I'm not sure I'd survive it. Barriers down. Get a move on. Be careful. The Cabal got sloppy. Vex have moved in behind them. Watch your back or you'll get caught in the crossfire. The Imperial commander should be up ahead.
Give them what for? Kindly remind them they don't belong on Europa.
I'd skip the kindly part. The Cabal, searching for the secrets of the Deep Stone Crypt. I don't understand wanting to become a machine. To lose everything you are. What sort of person is willing to do that to themselves?
From what I gather, folks becoming exos weren't always willing.
And here I thought the people of the Golden Age were supposed to be enlightened.
But the Cabal feel the same way about themselves.
The way you talk about the Cabal, others talk the same way about the Elixni, especially in the tower. Shax openly jokes about killing them. Some Guardians wear their bones on their armor like they're animals. It's different when you've walked among them, shared a meal with them.
Well, I ain't gonna be sharing a meal with no Cabal anytime soon. All right, Guardian. The Cabal are determined to dig up something bad, and they've got the head start. They're gonna need to hustle to close the gap.
The Cabal are entrenched, prepared for our arrival. They've erected a proving ground outside that massive tank. The pack hunts.
You're going to face heavy resistance up ahead.
Remember, do not hold back. Show your enemy no quarter, as they did to us in the Red War. Now, begin the rite of proving. Show them what we're made of, and leave them trembling. Cabal defenses are hardened around the tank. We won't be able to push further.
What matters is that we pushed, not how far.
Spoken like an Iron Lord. You could have been one of us, Osiris.
The Iron Lords don't hold a monopoly on strategy. I thought you were a more pragmatic lot. All or nothing, like the Red War?
That was different. We didn't have our light. After Siva, after everything the Warmind put us through, we couldn't risk more losses.
If I'm not mistaken, didn't young Aphrodite disobey your orders and fight lightless?
She did.
Oh, so is this a new leaf I see turning? Are the Iron Lords coming down from their mountain?
You'll know when we do.
Oh. I look forward to it.
Get ready to move. The Cabal have invaded the Cosmodrome. As we speak, Paul Mirag leads a charge into a hive nest, seeking revenge for what Zivo Arat did to the Cabal's home system. If he succeeds, Keitel is certain to promote him to her war council, and more Cabal will flood into the Cosmodrome. We can't let that stand. Not in the territory that produces some of our best Guardians. Fortunately, our enemies are distracted. Cut through the chaos and take out Mirag. If we don't crush this now, we could lose an entire generation of new lights.
Guardians, this fight is between the Empire and the Hive. Do not interfere.
I'm sorry, what? You're breaking up? I'm flying into a tunnel. Go light him up, Guardian.
The Cabal have dramatically underestimated the density of the Hive. They are overrun. We can use this to our advantage. Clear out the Cabal on the periphery, then become a spear and strike through their hull.
Eyes up. The Cabal have been holding off waves of Hive for weeks. But the situation may have deteriorated.
This is an important strategic position. It allows Keitel to establish a beachhead on Earth at the Hive's expense.
Letting them settle in would be a bad idea.
Go forth, Guardian. Cleanse this place. The Brood is relentless, but do not lose sight of your target. The Cabal's champion is near. They cannot deny them. Challenge them. End this.
Cut him down, Guardian! I cannot stand the Hive. Just looking at him makes my skin crawl.
The Hive are not that fond of you either, Miss Holliday.
Can't blame Keitel for wanting her people to burn out that nest. Nowhere those things belong but gone.
You have a sense of conviction that I find fascinating.
Yeah, well, I'm a fascinating person.
Even after losing as much as you have, you continue to fight. Knowing well you have but one life.
Sometimes. One life is all it takes.
You would make a fine guardian, Miss Holliday. Though I'm not sure you'd appreciate the barrier for entry. The Cabal would risk everything for a chance at retribution against the Hive. So much rage, so much suffering.
You saw what the Hive did to the Elixni on the shore. That would push anyone to their limit.
The Red War proved that the Cabal have no limits.
Then let's give them some. I have eyes on their commander, just up ahead.
Cabal honor will dictate that he'll have to answer your challenge.
Time to fight fire with fire. Or bullets. You know, your choice.
They thought that fire and force would be enough to destroy the Hive. Fools.
This commander may be. But Keitel seems... different.
Do not confuse cunning for restraint. The moment she has the upper hand, she will attempt to make Earth the new Cabal homeworld.
Maybe. Maybe not. Guess we'll see.
This is Amanda Holliday, reporting on my Cosmodrome flyovers. The Cabal set up shop on a bluff overlooking the moth yards. Hive's been chewing on them pretty good, but they're dug in like ticks. You know how they are. Frigates parked overhead haven't put a single round my way. Seems they're focused 110 on the Hive. One thing I haven't seen are any civilians. I don't know how big the Cabal fleet is these days, but it's gotta be spread thin. There must be a group of carriers in deep space somewhere with all their kids and old folks aboard. The whole rest of their species. Shows how much they want payback. They're risking it all on our turf, just for a piece of the Hive. I know this Cabal force looks like aggression, but I'd wager it's grief, through and through. They ain't here for us. They're here for revenge. Goodness knows, I can relate.
Did I keep you waiting? I've been busy managing the antics of your commanders.
Antics. Time-honored traditions. They don't concern you.
You're auditioning members for your war council. I'd say that concerns us very much.
Your commander could be a valued member of it, if he would accept my offer. You seem like a wise man. We both know that the best victory is won before the war even begins. I'm giving humanity a way out. Zavala can end this now. You can end this now.
A Cabal Empress with a penchant for mercy. It's a novel idea. You've learned from the mistakes of your predecessors, but I see how you lean on tradition when you fear a loss of control. I see your uncertainty, dithering. As for what I know that an Empress without an empire is in no position to offer anything.
The Cabal have lost their home, not their honor. If we are to die, we will take many with us. Tell your commander my patience is running out.
Your orders remain the same. Honor or no, without a war council, she'll have no war.
This Legion's champion is near, Guardian. Perform the rite of proving, call him out, and show him the power of the light.
Commander Zavala, I thought to contact you directly, free from the prying interests of advisors. When I was a child, listening to stories of the Cabal's many rulers, I imagined that sovereignty was absolute power. The power to triumph, to spill blood, to rule. But now I realize the ironic truth. Sovereignty is a form of servitude. As Empress, my people's will comes before my own. That is why Cabal forces cannot leave the Sol system empty-handed. after losing Torobatl. We cannot lose our honor. It's the only thing we have left. You offer an alliance as equals, but I offer something even more valuable. Exaltation. Within our ranks, the Guardians will be revered. They will be free, as the Scions are now. They will be our most elite force, the pride of the Cabal Empire. So, for the last time, join us. For revenge against the Hive. For survival against the darkness. Join me. Join the Cabal.
You're needed back on Nessus, Guardian. As if their tank wasn't enough, now we have Scions tunneling into Vex territory. According to Crow, their leader is Ixal the Far-Reaching. She's looking for something that will secure her a seat on the War Council. Something that will impress, like Vex prediction engines. Whatever Ixal digs up could give Keitel the winning edge. Or worse, simply unleash destruction on us all. Either outcome is to be avoided at all costs. Ensure they never try this again.
The Scions are already deep in the Vex network, and it looks like they have Imperial backup. You can catch them if you hustle.
Lucky for you, Amanda Holliday runs a door-to-door service. I've dropped you close to the entry point.
And, lucky for me, she also has a sense of humor, which is refreshing after working with Saladin.
That's a pretty low bar to clear, but I'll take the compliment. You're on the right track. Keep drilling down. You'll hit gold soon enough.
We're picking up big energy spikes below your feet. Odds are good, but that's where their commander is.
How did it go?
Well, the Cabal are just thrilled we've been interfering in their politics. That said, a lot of them are just as unhappy Keitel tried to fold us into the Empire.
Interesting. Another crack in the shield.
Aren't you worried about retaliation? The data we've pulled from that prediction engine. We need to act now.
That data represents possibility, not fate. We need to know more. Good, you're here. The Scions you broke up on Nessus are plotting something. Help Crow investigate this further.
Wait. You aren't going to tell the commander? This concerns him. He deserves to know.
My hope is there won't be anything to tell. Not if you and the Guardian see this through.
Don't know about you, but I'll take that as a compliment.
Time to show the big boss what you got.
You know how to get their attention. Osiris said this isn't the first time the Scions have tried to mingle with the Vex. Were you around for that holiday?
I was in the tower at the time, but I wasn't really involved, so I don't know much.
Glint's been combing through the Vanguard archives, helping me catch up on the history. I'll ask him to skip ahead.
Good idea. Just the thought of clairvoyance combined with prediction engines, ooh, it's making me sweat.
I'm with you. Even if we can't see the future, knowing the past might help us stay on top of this.
The Brood is relentless, but do not lose sight of your target. The Cabal's champion is near. They cannot deny the proving. Challenge them. End this.
Cut him down, Guardian!
Thanks to your fieldwork, I have an idea of what the Scions are planning. It's not good. This gadget you found. It's a tiny light disruptor. Small, but strong enough to knock down a ghost. Saladin says when the Cabal sieged the city, they severed our connection to the light. Looks like the Scions have refined that tech. It's elegant, actually. And deadly. They wouldn't need to fly a fleet into the city to use this. A single gunman would be enough if they could catch a Guardian flat-footed. I'll tell Osiris, and I'll keep an eye on the commander. You know, just to be safe. Listen, I've been combing through the prediction you pulled from Nessus. I've got bad news. I think the Cabal are going to try to take Zavala out. He's missing from every single one of the futures they predicted. Not missing where'd he go missing. Dead missing. Osiris says there are only possibilities, but I think it's the real deal. Zavala has refused to work with Keitel. It's in her best interest to remove him. Sends a strong message. Glint can't pinpoint a time and place yet. We need more information. Word is, the Vex have always had trouble predicting you. Maybe that's our edge. What do you say? Want to help prevent a prophecy?
Nessus, Europa, the Cosmodrome. Every time the Cabal return to the Battlegrounds, so shall we. Osiris has sent Crow undercover to investigate their plans for the Vex prediction engines. We need you back on the front lines. The more you can draw their fire, the easier it'll be for Crow to slip under the radar. And while you're out there, be sure to claim whatever you find in the aftermath. Weapons, gold. Without their home system, they can't resupply. And without supplies, they can't resist for long.
Sometimes I like to listen to the city's pulse. I hear it best when the people are asleep, and when I'm alone. It was a warm night, and I wanted to feel the breeze on my face. I took a walk through the first garden we planted inside these walls, to remind myself how far we've come. We've made so many sacrifices since those early days. But with the green of that garden and the murmur of the city we built up around it, I could be at peace. For a little while. Have you ever felt someone's eyes watching you, Guardian? You might not believe it, but I knew he was there before I saw him. I turned, and there he was, Uldren Sov, his spirit haunting me. Then he shouted a warning, and something snapped in the trees behind me. I spun around, my gun in hand, before I realized I'd drawn it. It all happened so fast. A Cabal assassin, one of Keitel's, no doubt. When I looked back for Prince Uldren, he was gone. Was it a troubled spirit? A hallucination? I wasn't sleeping well before. Now I'm not sure I will at all.
Commander, an attack on your life within our own walls, in the streets where the city's children play. I wish it surprised me. Every minute we waste, our enemies grow bolder. I saw it with the warlords of Allah. Give them slack, and they'll hang you with it. You must act. Commander, an attack on your life within our own walls, in the streets where the city's children play. I wish it surprised me. Every minute we waste, our enemies grow bolder. I saw it with the warlords of Allah. Give them slack, and they'll hang you with it. You must act. Remind our enemies that there are consequences when darkness breaches our walls. Remind the people why they put their faith in the Guardians. This attack was just a taste. Next time, they'll target someone else, someone you can't save. That loss will be on you. The weight of it will crush you. Trust me. There was an assassin within the walls of the last city, and no one knew until it was almost too late. Luck was on our side. Next time, it won't be. What we must do now is channel our light into a clean, burning fury and raise the Cabal Empire to ashes. Zavala may still have hope for a peaceful resolution, but he hasn't seen what I have. I'm still an Iron Lord. I'll be in the fray exacting retribution. When you're ready, you should be too.
If these Scions are half what we suspect, their commander will already know you're here.
I never bothered the Guardian before.
I always imagined these Scions as reluctant hostages to the Cabal Empire. But even now, with the Empire in ruins, they fight to the death for Keitel.
Yeah, they're playing a bad hand as best they can.
No excuses. Eliminate them at will, Guardian. If the Scions are allowed to continue their research, it could spell disaster for the Vanguard.
Yeah, too much clairvoyance and they might turn out like Osiris. Not sure how much of that we can take.
Challenge their commander. Bring this operation to a halt. Have you heard about the attempt on Zavala's life, perpetrated by one of these Scions?
Yeah, I heard. I can't bear to think on it. After Cade, if Zavala had...
How many more have to die before we take these threats seriously?
What do you think we're doing out here? I got serious bullet holes up and down my ship.
And yet we let them regroup. We should take the fight to the Cabal, instead of waiting for them to come to us.
Guardians guard, they're not invaders.
You were seen.
At that distance, in the dark, no.
Enough to put a name to a dead man's face. The commander told Ikora. Thankfully, he passed you off as a hallucination.
An assassin was inside our walls. I had to do something.
This isn't the first time an enemy has infiltrated the city, and it won't be the last. Your concern is noted, but far from a crisis.
An attempted assassination isn't a crisis?
Zavala is quite capable of dispatching a lone Scion.
He was distracted, soon to be lightless. If I wasn't
unmasked, didn't the spider teach you that even small mistakes bring large consequences?
I suppose you learned that chasing Xivu Arath.
Choose your next words wisely.
I should have kept my mask on, but I don't regret acting. I still think Zavala's in danger.
That is why I'm embedding you as his bodyguard.
Is that wise?
We need to draw in their assassins, and a full security outfit is too obvious. Keep your mask on, always. Do not speak. Can I trust you to handle this with discretion?
The utmost. My mask was in my hand. Stupid, I know, but I felt safe. I thought I could just relax for a minute. It was a mistake. Osiris tells me the commander always talks about making the hard choice. Reveal myself or let him die. Whatever I chose, someone would still say I was wrong. I'm sure you've lost people. Racked your mind for how it could have been different. Too far away to act, but close enough to wonder. If you could have stopped it, wouldn't you? No matter the cost. I've been at the mercy of something I couldn't stop, without knowing why. Blind in a nightmare. I didn't want to be the reason for more pain. The next time they come for the commander, they'll have to get through me. Mask or no mask. Just don't tell Osiris I said that.
Cabal Scions have already cracked their outer security layer. The Vex network is compromised, so move fast.
Imperial reinforcements have arrived. They know we're coming. Show them the futility of foresight. There is nowhere left to run, and the pack closes in. This commander aspired to greatness, and now they will be reduced to little more than a memory. Not far now. The Cabal underestimate us at every turn.
They would be wise not to underestimate the Vex either. But I think we all know that wisdom is not a valued trait among the Cabal.
An ironic observation.
The Scions have commandeered the Vex security systems. We'll need to wrest control of the defense network from them.
You are familiar with this prediction engine, are you not?
I have studied them extensively. They're not all that different from Vex simulations, but there is nuance.
Could we use one of these to feed false information to the Cabal? Hijack an accepted broadcast transmission, feed their commanders bad tactical data, then use it against them.
Clever, but flawed. The data from a prediction engine is useless noise without psychic capabilities.
I do not see that as an impasse. We capture Scions, hook them up to a prediction engine, and coerce them to perform the tasks through whatever means are necessary.
You may need a warlock for an endeavor like that. There is magic deep enough to erode even the most adamant of wills. But I do not believe the commander would sanction those methods.
The Cabal have no shame. They failed to take out our leadership, and now they escalate their barbarism on the battleground. Believe me, I wish it were not this way. But I've seen this pattern play out many times before. Like the warlords of our darker days, Keitel and her commanders see honor as currency, valuable only for the fear it strikes in their enemies' hearts. There's no merit in it, no trust, and there's no negotiating with brutes like that. Meet them on the battlefield and prove again and again where the real honor lies.
You gotta hand it to them. The Cabal sure get creative when it comes to warfare.
You think? All they're doing is retrofitting Vex technology.
Well, sure. If it's there, they might as well use it. Gotta be resourceful when you've been turned out of house and home. That goes double for when the Hive God of War is the one turning you out.
Is that a note of compassion I hear in your voice, Holiday?
No, not one bit. How dare you?
My apologies.
I respect their hustle. That's all.
Everything the Cabal have done to us. After Gaul, we are warriors. Why aren't we at war?
This is not an easy decision. You know that.
Not easy, but inevitable. Neither side can sustain a real war, but the Cabal are aggressive and proud. If we do not end this, it will escalate beyond our control. The city is at risk.
So strike now. Take out their leader. United, we can handle the rest in a matter of weeks.
You don't think that lowers us to the enemy's level?
Whether it does or not, I doubt Keitel will go down so easily. But perhaps there is wisdom in thinking like the Cabal. Keitel has rallied support by embracing old traditions. If Zavala challenges her to ceremonial combat, she must accept, or risk losing that support. Humanity's champion versus the Cabal's. The winner dictates the future.
If we win, there's no guarantee Keitel's followers will honor the result, even if the Empress herself does.
And if we lose this gamble, when Keitel has a knife to your throat, will she thank you for your diplomacy?
Every fight is a gamble. The question is whether you're willing to bet on our best guardians.
Any day of the week. Make your preparations. I'll reach out to Keitel to discuss terms.
Commander.
I appreciate your cooperation.
I can't believe how close the Cabal got to Zavala.
Never underestimate the enemy.
Or the Vanguard. Makes you think about how few of us actually stand between humanity and
Evil.
the Cabal are just trying to survive. Same as us.
For centuries, I've watched humanity edge closer to extinction, while new lights quibble over morals and semantics. If the Vanguard wants a lasting peace, they should finish the Cabal. For good.
So Crow and I were talking last time we ran this operation. It got me thinking about how hard the Cabal are fighting and what for. Maybe if we took a look at things from their perspective, we might, I don't know, see it differently.
You know what Thrall are.
I'm no child. I know what Thrall are.
To the Hive, a Thrall is a child. Quick to physically mature. But still little more than a toddler taking its first steps. These Thrall scream, seek, kill, devour. To grow, advance, and change.
The hell's this got to do with anything?
You do not hesitate to destroy Thrall.
Of course not. They're monsters.
Yes. Monsters should be put down. Do not let Keitel fool you with honeyed words that the Cabal are any different.
If the Scions are allowed to continue their research, it could spell disaster for the Vanguard.
Yeah, too much clairvoyance and they might turn out like Osiris. Not sure how much of that we could take.
Challenge their commander. Bring this operation to a halt.
At last, we have a plan to strike at the heart of the Cabal. It's not what I'd do, but at least we're taking decisive action. Zavala has challenged Keitel to settle things with a final rite of proving. No response yet, but Osiris is confident she'll accept. Personally, I don't think there's any course of action more final than a full-scale offensive. Your task is to encourage Keitel to accept the easy out. Our aspiring commanders are the pressure points, so hit them with everything you've got. And keep hitting them until Commander Zavala tells you otherwise.
Lynch to Keitel, knowing she could not show weakness in front of her people. She accepted. And now the time has come. It's simple. A final rite of proving. We each send forth a warrior to represent us. Whichever side claims victory sets the terms of a binding agreement. If we win, Keitel ceases hostilities immediately. Her forces never set foot on Earth again. But if we lose, we surrender Nessus and support her claim to the Imperial throne. And as a gesture of good faith, I become Brachus Zavala and serve on her war council, a glorified hostage. That cannot happen. Keitel's chosen warrior waits deep within her fortified tank. Storming it and defeating him in ritual combat will be nearly impossible. But I've come to expect the impossible. From you, Guardian. Represent the Vanguard in the rite of proving. Be our champion.
Empress Keitel, we invoke the rite of proving. The Vanguard sends forth its champions.
The challenge is met. Our blood flows together. May it lead to unity. You willingly enter the Halphus Electus. I welcome you, but my forces, they do not. My tank is restless. Do what you came for. Fight well, or die quickly. All feel fear, Commander. Some learn from it, while others are ruled by it. Which are you?
I refused to bend the knee. What does that tell you?
You fight well, Guardians. A shame you must pay the price for your commander's pride.
The Guardians kneel to no one, not even to me. Which of these Cabal is your champion?
All warriors rally in defense of the Chosen.
Keitel, order your troops to clear a path. We have no quarrel with them.
I will not deny them the honor of protecting their champion. My champion awaits in the locus of honor. Why do you skulk through the maintenance areas?
We will deal with your champion in due time. Though we may destroy your tank in the process.
Ha! We are Cabal. We eat the mountains. We drink the seas.
Yes. And we are here to stop you.
You would attack my tank directly? It is sacred to my men. They will fight as though its oil were blood.
Keep working your way beneath the outer plates. According to Amanda, you'll emerge near the power relays.
Guardians, I have prepared further challenges for you. A banquet of combat to test your resolve.
The Guardians are coming for your champion. They're not here for your hospitality.
I know stories of fiends who cut at the legs of powerful heroes. My tank will not be felled so easily. And my father said you were such fun. Guardians, peace is at hand. You will be the last to die before the Cabal commands the Vanguard.
None had to die today, Keitel. The blood of your champion will be on your own gilded blade. Keitel, prepare your champion. My champion's are ready, Keitel. Is yours?
Arise, my chosen! Fight for the glory of the Cabal! Let the rite of proving commence!
Keitel, your champion falls.
You have claimed victory in the rite of proving. I am bound to our agreement.
Your champion fought with honor, and you accept defeat in the same way. Keitel, your champion falls.
The rite of proving is over. By the victor's rule, the Halphus Electus and the souls aboard it are yours to destroy.
We take nothing but your word. Tend to your men and your tank. But break our agreement, and we will be back to finish what we started.
Let our blood be the last spilled. Let this ground be hallowed. Let honor bind us. I didn't order this. Bring me the one who pulled the trigger. They'll know who did.
Are you all right?
I'm alive. I've officially been commissioned as a recon agent by Commander Zavala. He wants me to track down the conspirators who tried to sabotage the ceasefire. I believe Keitel when she says she wasn't behind it, but let's not take chances. 2 assassination attempts is more than enough, I think. Zavala looks at me, and I feel like he really sees me. Who I am, not who I was. He didn't say much else, just that it might be a good idea if I laid low while he figured things out here. I know it's taboo to talk about the people we were before, but the weight that's been hanging around my neck since I woke up in this body, it finally feels a little lighter. I doubt this is the last time we'll be seeing each other, Guardian.
Aldrin Sav is dead. Ikora spoke those words when I offered her the news of Crow's unmasking. She already knew, of course, as did Osiris. And you. Without trust, we become like the Cabal, fractured and consumed from within. I've sent your friend on a reconnaissance mission while I determine the best way forward. Empress Keitel will honor our agreement. This is an armistice, not an allegiance. Those who do not answer her call to leave Earth are criminals in the eyes of her empire, left to us to deal with as we see fit. Saladin will have words, I'm sure. But preserving what's left of the Cabal insulates us from further incursions by Zivu-Arath, the enemy of my enemy, Guardian. Until such time, they are not.
Warriors of the Empire, today we chose strength and honor over personal glory. But two of our soldiers chose to pursue their own victory, their own glory before the glory of the Empire. Only one of these soldiers stands before me now. The Scion Valir faced his death with honor, but his accomplice, the Scion Kalek, chose to run, to hide. Kalek is a stain on our history, a traitor. I revoke the name Kalek, for a coward has no name under the Empire. These traitors did not work alone. I will find the others, and they will meet this same fate. We are one Cabal, and we strike as one fist.
This is the time, Guardian. Begin the rite of proving. Highly the Cabal value honor. They don't seem to apply it very consistently. Fighting for the Empress' favor? Honorable. Rebelling against the Empress? Also honorable.
Well, it depends on your definition, I guess. Seems the Cabal think of it more as personal glory, something you win in battle. But when I think about honor, I think about it as something you do. Honor your parents, honor your commitments. It's about trust and doing right by people. And you definitely did right by the people of the last city today, Guardian.
We're too late. The Cabal extracted the information they wanted, and destroyed the machine to cover their tracks. Some data fragments still exist. We'll have to analyze them.
The Cabal never seemed this savvy with Vex technology before. This feels more elegant than what we're used to.
No doubt a lesson learned from their failure at the Sundial.
Watching the Guardian cut through the hive just to beat down a Cabal commander makes me wish I could work more openly for the Vanguard.
After your service to Zavala, he could hardly deny you. He owes you his life.
He still thinks it's best if I stick to the shadows.
There are many who would not have made such a selfless gesture. Zavala should count his allies carefully.
We won't have many of these sorties left now that Zavala and Keitel worked it out.
Proof of how far the Vanguard has fallen.
Easy now. Some of my best friends are fallen.
How degrading.
Lord Saladin, we prevented an all-out war with no civilian casualties. This is a win.
It's weakness. A real leader gives no quarter or second chances. A precision strike against holdouts. This is absurd. Keitel has tricked the Vanguard into fighting her political enemies for her.
The Vanguard have spoken. What more can be done but abide by their rules?
Don't come at me with this hypocrisy now that they've welcomed you back into their fold. You, of all people, should understand how short-sighted this is.
But there is a time to draw swords and a time to draw lines. The former has passed, and the latter... I can see which side of the line you stand on.
The same side I have always stood on. The side of humanity.
It may be time to find others who can toe the line as clearly as yourself, then.
Good work, Guardian. With the Scion's commander gone, we'll make quick work of the rest.
Zavala seems to think he can work it out with Keitel. Maybe we leave that to her.
I would have thought that you, of all people, would understand the need for decisive action.
Why? Because of Cade? Because of all the people I lost?
Because you're a soldier. And a survivor.
Killing Keitel's people won't bring mine back.
After everything that's been taken from you, you still have more to lose.
If we wipe out the Cabal, if we start thinking like the Hive, then we lose the most valuable thing of all.